Papua New Guinea politics deteriorating from bad to worse. Politics does nothing directly to us, but many of us, however, we are always commenting about politics as we understand the implications and ramifications of any political decisions made by politicians in our country. If you have a plan, very ambitious to achieve something for yourself or your community, be it sports, business, education, or generally anything within the context of Papua New Guinea's socio-economic landscape, then keeping tabs on all the happenings in this country is crucial. As a learned person, we should know that national issues are personal issues. The decisions made by the government will affect you either short or long term. Papua New Guinea is not just another country existing in isolation from the rest of the world. We are part of the global community, and decisions made based on obsolete advice, inadequate lack of adaptability, technical and background information, or limited research are leading us into chaos as a country. The current movement of political parties within the opposition and government, back and forth, or what we normally call yo-yo, outright highlights a group of individuals with self-interests strategically moving here and there, directing their efforts to accumulate more power, wealth, and political control, rather than saving this country. Good on them. They have purchasing power and the ability to navigate their way. And sadly, we have no option to argue. Even if we did, our arguments would have no impact on changing the course of their actions, as it is what it is. So we always say, we knew this was coming. It's all politics, but beyond that, the time wasted, the resources squandered, the lack of leadership, and the absence of conscious decision-making processes blinded by greed and denial are what's killing us. When Alan Bird said we needed a hard reset to turn the course of this ship around, there were crazy thoughts in my mind. For someone who is not a politician, a policymaker, nor a great business owner, but young with ambition and a dream to live and build my life in this country, it saddened me to come to terms with whether there's a glimmer of hope left for many in our generation and the generation after us. How do we see the reset that was mentioned? Is there anything simple and ordinary people can facilitate in a manner that would make this happen? Papua New Guinea must not wave away a few genuine leaders like Alan Bird, James Normana, and others who stood tall and continuously advocated for change, even though they may sound boring and overly exaggerated about the socio-economic status of our country. Today, it's tough to change a government. Every politician elected to parliament will claim to maintain the stability of the government. However, deep down, they are only defending their interests, capitalizing on special events like the vote of no confidence. You and I don't have substantial evidence over these claims. However, from an obvious point, we know they are obliged to remain loyal as they have been served. The Waigani Cup is a very expensive arena where our lives are gambled for political gain. Who knows if multinational corporations are part of this? With strong governance, reforms, and policies, our country will win. But this is a disadvantage for the giants, who are often sponsors during the Waigani Cup. Who knows if a bigger player with ulterior motives for global dominance is at the back of all this? As their number one priority, they will do anything to ensure the political survival of a weak, incompetent, and indecisive regime, which they can manipulate easily for their greater interests. In other words, everyone is using each other to gain something from the vulnerable and powerless people. So the Waigani Cup begins every 18 months of the grace period. But during the grace period, the ultimate question is, how much has the government delivered, and did the government prepare for this? Well, the obvious answer is yes. They are stocked with cash. Within the grace period, they have made enemies and friends. There have been divisions and unifications during the 18-month grace period, or should we say, a preparation period. Each politician's demands and expectations are met, allegiances are formed, and coalitions are built. Sponsors also capitalize on the development, bringing up their agendas and the roles they can play, and in return, they benefit from being an instrument to retain the regime. Unfortunately, the people are nowhere in the picture and are not central to these developments. When the time is right, the teams show up in front of cameras and brainwash the public, as if they have been spending sleepless nights thinking of how best they will save us. As gullible as we are, we listen, clap our hands, fight against each other, defend and support our teams. And when the game is over, we are back to square one, facing our reality, and the struggle goes on as life goes on. Another day in paradise. What a routine. Politics is here to stay. Politicians are here to steal, and we the people are here to struggle. The question now is, what's the hard reset Alan Bird is talking about? Is it a civil war? Is it an assassination? Is it a change in leadership? Is it a change in reforms and the introduction of new systems and better ways of doing things? If yes, what is it, and how can it be done? The question remains unanswered, while our lives are gambled right in front of our eyes.